I'm not like my dad. I'm smarter than him. Better than him.
What up, welcome back to the channel. I'm Monet, and we are locked in. This is the recap for episode 3 of Book 2 Ghosts, season 3. Now, this week, I will admit, another great episode. What they're doing with this series so far, I know it's only 3 episodes in, but they're doing a hell of a job keeping the storyline going. It's not getting stagnant, and we're figuring out everything. We also know that Obi tells the kids he needs $1 million, or Diana's gone, Brayden's mama gone, Tariq grandmama gone, everybody gone. So before we jump into this and break down how they're going to move this $1 million worth of product, if you like power content, recaps, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button and follow me on Instagram right here. Now, I know y'all not trying to hear me do too much talking, so let's go ahead and jump into it. This is the recap of episode 3 of Book 2 Ghosts, season 3. Will Tariq make it out? When we start the episode off, we see how all the moving parts come together. Effie is doing the hand-to-hand pickups on the college campuses. Brayden and Tariq, they're with Davis learning the professional side. While Lorenzo and Kane, they're on the street, or should I say Kane and Lorenzo, because now Poppy works directly for his son, Kane. Kane is also seeking a little bit of revenge doing all of this. He knows about Poppy and he's the one that killed Zeke. He also had his brother Drew set up. So when they go to Jamaica Ave, instead of just dropping off some work and picking up some money, he dropped off Poppy. Poppy got a foot in his back. They jumped him, and Kane is just letting them know this is a little payback for getting my brother Drew set up. The crew is tasked with what seems to be an impossible task of making $1 million by the next time that they see Obi. Now, Obi lays out some pictures. He notices Diana, he notices Brayden's family, and he also notices Tariq's grandmother. And he sets it all down, and everyone's looking and thinking, these are our family members. But Obi says, if I don't have $1 million next time I see you all, these members will die, starting with Diana. Then little orphan Annie, he doesn't have any information on Effie, so he lets her know if they don't meet this $1 million deadline, then one of the members of the crew, Tariq, Brayden, or Kane, will then die. The Justice League is still having troubles putting together this RICO. Now, Detective Whitman, who's supposed to be on admin duty, does get a call and says he's about to meet up with Monet Tejada and her lawyer. All I need you to do is talk, and then I can leave you all alone. Now, of course, Jenny Sullivan and Blanca, they don't want him to do this because they think it's going to mess up their RICO. But little do they know, Whitman is actually getting answers that they need to move forward. Plus, he's the missing connection when he first came in and seen their board to tell them about everything else that's going on. We also find out that Effie wants to continue to sell work on the side. We know that she was putting together an app called Course Perfect, but it never went up to launch. She's taking money, so if we have to make $100, and for every $10 that Effie makes, out of that 10, she'll take 5 for herself and then put 5 in the pot. It's going to take more time to reach that goal if Effie's taking money on the side. But she wants to save up money for herself so she can exit the game with some safety money. And Tariq hears all of this, and for some reason, he agrees. We also find out that Salim has been doing his research. He's seen Diana Tejada in class. He talked to Diana at the memorial service. So what does he do? He Googles her last name. He finds out that her father Lorenzo got out on a technicality for a manslaughter, and he doesn't know if he can be that close with her because her family is very dangerous. Now, Kane does show up. Salim doesn't know who he is, so he tells him, my name is Salim Freeman. Kane ain't trying to hear it. Now, Kane is giving his sister a little bit of money because we know that she's struggling on campus. From when Lorenzo enrolled her into the school, he only had enough money for the tuition and not the books. So Kane doesn't want his sister being involved in nothing. He wants his sister to go to school, so he gives her money. But we know that she has a different plan. Detective Whitman goes back to harassing Monet. Now, he wants to meet up with them and have a little one-on-one. And right here is him coming to tell Monet, hey, I know your bar is up right now. It needs some business. But if you come and talk to me, I can leave all of this alone. Now, Monet, she's feeling the pressure from Detective Whitman. She wants him off the case. So she's like, I don't know nothing, ain't seen nothing, find who killed my son. And he gives her a card. Now, he's trying to set up a sit down so he can extract any kind of information from Monet if possible. Over at Weston Holdings, We see Tariq and Brayden, they're in the bar. They're watching a guy named RSJ on TV. Now, RSJ is one of the richest black men in the world. In the hallway, there's a conversation going on between Lucas, Brayden's uncle, and Kiki, Brayden's new love interest. Now, she's looking and she sees everything that's going on. And Uncle Lucas tells her, listen, you can leave, take a spa day, and go home. And the reason he's saying that is because he already has Tariq St. Patrick. And what I mean by that is he already has enough black people on staff for the day to talk to RSJ. Now, RSJ is a rich black man, so of course he wants to appease him by showing a black member on the staff, so he'll be more inclined to do business with him. Now, Kiki hears this, she has to go home, so you already know she's a little upset about it. RSJ has a meeting with Lucas Weston, telling them, hey, let's set up a formal meeting and let's talk about business. Let's talk about me investing into Weston Holdings. Now, after this conversation, Tariq takes it upon himself to go over and talk to RSJ, because if you want to become a billionaire, become a rich mind, you need to talk to those that have already went down that path and they know how to get there. Now, RSJ is telling them, Tariq, young man, nice to meet you, but make sure you use the Westons as much as they're using you, because they're using you as the token black man here to try to bring me on and make that investment. Now, Tariq learns a little bit from RSJ, and now he's going to apply these tactics to the streets, because in order to be a billionaire, you got to know a billionaire. That's just how it works most of the time. The sit down between Monet, Davis, and Whitman officially takes place. Now, when they get in here, Whitman's playing it cool at first, not asking too many questions. Monet's listening to it, but what he's doing is trying to poke the bear. Now, when you go into these interrogations with your lawyer or any meeting with the police, never say anything, let your lawyer do it. Now, Whitman, he keeps pushing the buttons. Now, he has some factual evidence. He has footage from surveillance cameras around the bar. People show up, but they leave, aka Rico. Now, what he's doing is applying pressure to Monet and saying, hey, what about Carrie? Did you help Zeke, your son, your nephew? She gets upset and says, I did everything for Zeke. You need to find a guap that killed him. Now, we know a guap didn't kill Zeke, Lorenzo did. But last week, we know the Tejadas did kill a guap. Meaning, telling Detective Whitman this, he writes it down. Now he's going to look into the guaps. If he finds out the guaps worked for Kane, the guaps didn't kill Zeke, because he already told us a mistaken identity, it could be very bad. But Monet ran her mouth too much, and even Davis knew she had messed up. After all of this, an emergency meeting is called. Monet and Davis call up Tariq to come through. Now they tell Tariq, hey, Whitman is asking around. During this conversation in the hallway, Sachs takes a photo of everything that's happening, because he needs to give information to Jenny. And what better for the Rico than having the three heads of the Rico meeting up. Now, he's not sure what the conversation is about, but last week he did find a burner in Davis's locker, drawer, directed straight to Monet. Now, the crew had an official meeting. Effie wasn't there, but Brayden and Tariq, Wall Street. Drew Kane, Street. Wall Street, Street. And the plan is, there's some boys out in Brooklyn, the Castillo boys. They got a little foothold, Auntie Evelyn's boys, but they have a connect, a Russian. The plan is to take out the connect and then become the connect for the Brooklyn. The only problem is someone needs to take out the connect, and it can't be a black person. So Brayden is on deck and he's nervous as hell. Diana and Effie have a little back and forth, because Effie is moving work on Stansfield. Now, when she gets into it with Diana, Diana's saying, hey, you said Tariq wasn't good. She said, no, Tariq wasn't good for you. We have a connection. So Diana's a little bit jealous, because we seen how she acted in the Stallion shop when Tariq and Effie came in. She hid. Now, Effie's throwing a little bit of shade, talking about, yeah, I'm getting some money. How was that little Starbucks salary you getting? That little pennies on the dollar you getting? So Diana, she's upset. And this is a form of peer pressure. She's bragging on Diana, and is making Diana want to get in the game more and more. Tate and Harper Bennett are beginning to get a little closer. You remember they said they wanted to set up and have a conversation together. Well, they did. They get to kissing, and guess what? Two members of the Justice League show up, Blanca and Jenny. Now, they all have a past with Tate, because Tate used to be a lawman. Yeah, you know, he used to arrest people like his brother Kamal does. But Jenny and Blanca, they're looking at Tate and they're saying, hey, this doesn't look like a good look for you hanging around drug dealers. But what Tate does is spin it and say, yeah, I know Tariq St. Patrick who goes to school. I know a Brayden Weston over at Weston Holdings. But you guys keep telling me they're drug dealers. If they're drug dealers, then why haven't you convicted or arrested any of them? Exactly. So I don't know any drug dealers because Tariq is innocent. Brayden admitted to guilt, but y'all didn't arrest him because you didn't have anything on him. So if I know drug dealers and you know drug dealers, but you not arresting them, who looks bad? So Tate, he skated out of this conversation. The plan is in motion. Time to go kill the Russian Connect. Now he's coming out of church. Remember the Castillo boys, they're getting their work from the Russians. Brayden is supposed to go up there. Brayden is nervous. Brayden never caught a body like this. This whole time he's been fictionalizing everything he's done. He stalls. The Russian gets ready to pull his gun. Tariq comes over. Pow! One in the head. Pow! One to finish him off. They dip up out of here and have to head to a restaurant. The whole time Effie was saying Brayden needs to get this kill. And the reason she feels like that is because she allegedly killed Lauren. Brayden didn't have anything to do with it. But now it's up to Brayden to earn some stripes. But Tariq does it instead. Immediately after the shooting of the Russian Connect, they head to a restaurant. We need an alibi. When they get there, Brayden is all right, but then he has a panic attack. He leaves from the table. Now we see young Tariq turn into Ghost. Now he does tell Effie, I'm better than Ghost. I'm smarter than my dad. But you and I together, we can have a better future. We can build together and be the biggest drug dealers in New York City if, Effie, you just follow my lead. Now they get to kissing, and we know the downfall of a St. Patrick is putting too much trust in a woman, especially when you're in the dope game. On my channel, we learned early, in the dope game, we can't trust anybody. Everyone is a suspect, but Tariq doesn't see it. He's turned on by living in the fast lane, and Effie and Tariq, she may have been right. They might be meant for each other. Now you remember the Russian Connect? We finally see the Castillo brothers. Now I did a video earlier this week talking about them because I thought they would be introduced here, and we were right. Now they show up, they came all the way from Brooklyn. Gordo, the leader of the crew, he looks at Drew, and you know, they both notice each other, they grew up together. But let's get down to business. What happened to the Connect? Because they saying a black guy did it. Now, Kane told Brayden to do it. Brayden is white. And the reason he said that is because they don't want it to come back on them. A black person kills the Connect, and now a black person has the work to fill in. Exactly. Now, the only way that this is going to be believable, if somebody that has some clout on the streets, Lorenzo, steps up and say, hey, I heard it. I heard that it was a white kid. It wasn't a black guy. So now it has a stamp of being official because Lorenzo and their father, Frank, were like brothers. But right now, it looks like it's going to work for Kane because the Castillo brothers, they agreed. And you know how it is when you don't have any work coming in. You need whatever you can get. Sax is stuck in between Jenny, working for Davis, things with Tariq. He's just trying to find his way through it. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Sax, but one thing we see in this episode is he's been tasked to find out about Theo Rollins in his case. Well, guess what? He found out that the guy is 6'2", 6'3", that he took the charge for. He goes back and talks to Davis about it. Davis is saying, I didn't want to do that. They made me do it. The family did. They said, Theo, take the charge. Theo volunteered for it. So now Sax is actually helping Davis and saying, look, I know that you did this crime, but I'm going to still go ahead and try to get your brother off for it. So, all right, damn, I'll help you. And this sucks for Sax because he's supposed to be giving this information to Jenny, but at the same time, he's helping Davis. In case you were wondering, Detective Whitman is applying the full court pressure. He's outside of Monet's house after having a meeting, after being told to leave them alone. Now, the Justice League told him to stand down, but he doesn't care. This is for Carrie Milgram. Monet takes a picture, and she's building a log of how many times he showed up harassing her to take to Davis to try to get him thrown off the case completely. The crew are starting to upscale the operation. They got cups with false bottoms on it. Brayden has put together a website called No Cap All Frap, kind of like Course Perfect, Course Correct, but only selling coffee. You buy the coffee, you order the drugs, we bring you a mug, a cup with a false bottom, you got it. Now we got 347 total sales right now, 65 sales in Crash Coin. And Crash Coin is a crypto that Lucas Weston invested in. It was a dead coin, but now they're using it and it's 1-for-1. So the crew is making some money now. But this is the Power universe and nothing never goes expected. Kane wants to meet up with Brayden because he got information that a black guy killed the Russian and not a white guy. So now Brayden is caught up in a lie. And now he wants to know, is Effie still around? Did she really kill Lauren? Because if he's lying about this and that came back, Kane wants to know a little bit more. So he calls Effie and tells Effie, listen, you and I, we need to talk. All right, there you go, episode 3. Let me know who is the MVP of this. And is Kane going to be the one to figure out that Zeke was killed by Lorenzo and Lauren was killed by Effie? Or was Lauren just put in the car? Is she really dead? Let me know what you think. Who is the MVP of this? Make sure you tune in tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern, for the live after show discussion. It's going to be a good time. I'm Monet. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.